Hey everyone, so I have had the Kindle Oasis 3 from 2019 for about 3 years now. Now I do want to say for mine, I've had this Moco case I think the entire time I've had this device, and it nicely protects the entire thing for most part except for the screen when it's open. Of course, it protects it when it is shut and not in use. So I've used that. So mine is in almost perfect shape still. There's some smudges and stuff, of course. There's maybe some minor scratches on here, but in most part, it is in excellent shape. Turn it on over here. I mean, it's in almost like new condition because of that. So I really still do enjoy this device. It is, of course, e-ink. So it's not as fast as, say, using a tablet, and you do not get the colors like if you were to use a tablet, like the Fire tablets from Amazon as well. Uh, but you do get a very nice reading experience. So you have a couple buttons for over here for changing pages. Otherwise, you can just flip through them with your finger or touch them if you want. And then you have this really nice form factor. Your hands can go right on into it here, and then you just kind of hold on to it. Or the way I do it is like this, and then you can just hold on to it with your fingers again like that. Just very very nice. And then around the outside here, we do have micro USB for charging. It does charge incredibly fast though. It does not have USB Type C. Again, this is a few years old. There's nothing on that side. Again, nothing on the bottom except for the power button, which I keep hitting while it's turning off. Again, nothing on that side. And then you just have the nice big Amazon smile right there. And then your spot for your fingers to go. It's a really nice form factor, like I already said. Then you have these two buttons and this gigantic bezel. You do these two buttons to flip through pages. Let's go ahead and we'll hit the power button again here, swiping it on up. And then, so this is a newer update they did. They kind of revamped it a bit, and it's pretty nice. So you can actually just hit this or go into the last book you were reading. And then you can again hit the buttons. Over the years, I have had some issues with these buttons just sometimes not working. Then you kind of have to turn it off, turn it back on, and it works again. But otherwise, you can touch it. You can see all my fingerprints from here. Or you can swipe as well. And you see it is nice and fast, but you do get that flashiness because it is an e-ink display. Tapping up when you're in a book here will bring you to a whole bunch of different things. The main one we care about is going to be the book settings of sorts. So you can change your theme here. You can change the font along with the font size. You can change the orientation and the alignment, the margins, the spacing. So if you want to read this way, you can read this way, or you can change the orientation to where it'll flip like this. And then speaking of that, when you are in an orientation, if you turn it completely around, it will flip automatically for you. And then you do it this way, it will not unless you change the orientation. Then you also have a few more settings here. Shows a whole bunch of different things, including the clock, which is of course always nice. And when you're in the book, again, hitting on the top, near the top here, if you do not hit the top, it'll actually do other things. So you hit somewhat near the top there. And you hit it one more time where the arrow is. You have different settings. This is how you get into your main settings here. I do have my dark mode on, which is why it is on a black background. Then I also have my warmth turned up all the way. You can turn that down. That is like your blue light filter, which is actually the reason why I bought the Oasis and not the normal Kindle at the time, the Paperwhite, because it did not have the warmth, the blue light filter. This one does. Of course, you can turn up your brightness. There we go. But being again an e-ink display, you don't really need your brightness up too high because you can see it when it's nice and bright out. But of course, when it's dark out, you have to turn it up somewhat. Of course. Then you also have other things. You also have Bluetooth. So you listen to audible books. You can have headphones set up to that. And of course, we have our other whole bunch of other accounts or settings here and stuff. Alright, then on your main home page here. So again, this is a newer-ish update. Not too crazy long ago. But they made it a lot nicer. So you have your home. You also can just hit down on the bottom here your library. Then you have a quick access to your library. You can scroll through all that good stuff. And then you can hit home. You can see it does take a quick moment to register what you're hitting compared to like a tablet, which is a little bit faster. Then you also, again, on your main page here from your library, which should show you different things from that. A whole bunch of books to discover here. So it shows you books that it would recommend for you. Again, more recommended, more upcoming recommended. Whole bunch of different things that they think you'll like. Just keep on going through all these. Then on the very top, you can of course search for books. So like I would search here for Susan Leckie, I think is how you say her name, which is an excellent. She writes a few excellent books here. She has a bunch of excellent books here. Yeah, so you can just search for a person's name. You can of course search for actual books. Then you also have here Audible Store. You have the Goodreads, and then text and books, dictionary and Wikipedia, a whole bunch of good stuff from your library, from the Kindle store. So as long as you have it hooked up to Wi-Fi, I believe there's also an LTE version of this, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, as long as you have it hooked up to something here, you of course can look through the different books on the store. And the font on here is really nice, very legible, of course. Again, nice thing about e-ink, it looks excellent. It's like you're reading a book. But yeah, all in all though, the main point of this video was to say this is still an excellent device. It's one would expect from a Kindle, Amazon Kindle. This was not very cheap in the day. I don't know how much these go for now used, but they are excellent, and I would highly recommend one. I don't know, just a fantastic e-reader. Of course, you could just use a tablet if you wanted to, but I think you get a little bit more of a more book-like experience out of this than you would a Kindle, a Fire tablet or a different tablet of any sort. So it's kind of like reading a book. It's a very nice font, very good for your eyes. Yeah, you all let me know what you think. I really do like mine. Again, been in about 3 years. I still really like it, and it still works very well, even through the updates it's had. Thank you all very much. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention is battery life is still excellent. You can read a whole bunch on this, like any Kindle. If I'm not mistaken, it's a little bit worse than like the Paperwhite was. I might be wrong on that, but it is an excellent battery. It lasts a very long time. And again, it charges up very fast through micro USB. Alright guys, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you have a good one. See you next time. Goodbye.